just go in and go to work.
But most of those are just. So are there really less schools?
Yeah, that's the right. I will not respond to.
Got a minute?
Okay.
You had it.
Take.
He's going to get an extra copy for us.
There. And now the Zoom icon in the bottom right, I think. Sorry, tap. Down. Yeah, it looks like it's not. It's upside down.
All right. So the 60 is for the weekday.
That's what it was.
And what they're doing is that increase reflects weekday events, not the weekend events.
I had it all set to go. This is not. Well, I don't think that's not close.
Yeah, if you hit continue, maybe it'll go better.
No, it's gonna go to the absolute.
Oh, wait, now you can pull it out at least. Upper left corner. Yeah, right there, yeah. That doesn't, I don't know what the reason is right there.
How do I get it?
I believe it.
We're just trying to close it, it'd be the upper left again.
It's like it shrunk down. No.
It wouldn't be scheduled, would it, on the top right? Well, no, that's gonna be creating a new one.
Right, on the left it should say meetings, but it's shrunk down.
Oops, that's something I wanted to do.
There we go. No. It's right there.
That right there.
Now start. Yeah. Launch meeting. Show the computer off.
Looks like it's good.
All right, we'll call our meeting to order. All rise and please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call, please?
Certainly. Mike Cunningham.
Here.
Kurt Schultz. Jennifer Eden, absent. Herman Ferguson.
Here.
David Walker.
Here.
Zach Tucker.
Here.
Pam Loeffler. Here.
I don't think we have any changes to the agenda, so
So moved.
Support.
it's been motioned and supported to approve the agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? The agenda is approved. Next is approval of the consent agenda. The regular board meeting minutes from April 19th, 2022. Treasurer's report from April 30th, 2022. Clerk's warrants and bills.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned and supported to approve the consent agenda as presented. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Communications, we have 7 items. Item number 1 is the Livingston County Sheriff's Report dated April 31, 2022. Item number 2 is the Fire Service Report dated May 10, 2022. Item number 3, Planning Commission approved meeting minutes dated December 14, 2021. Item number 4, Planning Commission approved meeting minutes and public hearing minutes dated January 11, 2022. Item number 5 is the Planning Commission approved meeting minutes February 8th, 2022. Item number 6, Planning Commission approved meeting minutes March 8th, 2022. And item number 7 is the Planning Commission approved meeting minutes April 12th, 2022.
So moved.
Support.
With motion and supported to receive communications and 1 through 7 and place on file. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to public remarks. If anybody has any comments that they would like to make about tonight's agenda, feel free to do so. Please come up to the podium and state your name and make a comment. Yes, Mr. Hasbrook?
Good evening. I got a couple items I wanted to comment on, Planet Lake Heights proposed planning for the paving. I don't know if they've discussed any of the projects with the utility companies that have buried utilities in there. You know, consumers and sewers are 2 of the bigger, probably more potentially being impacted by it. You know, if there's work that utility owners need to do or would like to do, or that gets paid, they need to be given an opportunity to make comments or address things. So, and then number 6, the site plan for Valdoyle. I don't have anything against the project or, you know, the growth and what I see going on there. It seems to be a well-run operation, and, you know, it's a good business to have in the township, but it's growing, and I didn't see in any of the discussions and minutes to the planning commission or anywhere that anything with the sewers, with their increase in usage should be brought up at the planning commission, in my opinion, so that the members know what's going on and that it's transparent all the way through with the public as well. So, and the other thing is I know we've had, seems like you guys had public remarks rules before. What's going on with that? You guys are tightening up on the camera usage. I think that, you know, controlling people's right to voice their concern needs to be kept viable, and if somebody on this board needs to be chewed out at some time or another, this is a good place to do it. So that's my comment.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Give Mr. Dietrich on 02.
Okay. Scott, did you have a comment?
Yeah, I got a few. Thanks, Steve, for making a comment. I agree with Steve on what he just commented about the public comments and the videoing. I couldn't make the meeting last time because I had surgery, and I'm very disappointed we couldn't get Zoom on. I mean, we were hiring more people, we're paying more money, and we're getting more benefits, but we can't seem to get anybody to do their job. I mean, can't get the Zoom up. I mean, there's always an excuse why Zoom's not available. I'm very disappointed that you guys passed that insurance, Aflac, whatever you want, whatever it's called. We provide 7% to Social Security, which Social Security has disability for long-term illness. We have workers' comp. These are sedentary jobs. These people are going to be out. I've been my whole life having some surgeries here and there, medical issues, but you're usually back to work within a week. In most of these cases, if you have any injuries, you can go back and do a sedentary job. The only issue I can see if you need is somebody that's going to have a future surgery or fall out of a boat. You guys, this is more self-serving. We can't get stuff done, but we're getting more. You get your raises, you get more benefits. I think, Dave, you're in the insurance company business. The cost of this stuff, it's crazy. For 30 hours a week for employees, I'm sorry. But I think the insurance is crazy. And that's one thing we shouldn't be paying for. Like Steve says, I agree with him on these new rules. We did pretty good. No one's killed each other. And I know there's been a little hype when we argue a little bit. That's how we get stuff done in the township. But put more rules on, I think we're doing good. Some people do get a little out of control, but we get a little heated, but no one's going to hurt anybody. We're neighbors, and I don't think we're going to hurt each other. Just voicing our opinions. So, let's try to keep it down and let's not put too many rules on people in the audience. I think in the end, we all agree we can work together. We need to speed up this master plan. You guys, I know there's a lot of issues. And I mentioned this at the Planning Commission. We either have to draw some addendums to some of these issues so we don't have any future problems. Or we put some stuff put it on hold till we get the master plan. I don't know legally how we do that, but I know addendums can be written up. I know you have to have a public hearing, but let's get these things taken care of so we don't have any future problems. And one more thing, I don't want to press my 3 minutes, is, oh God, I lost my train of thought. It's hard when you're on the phone at home. The only reason I'm not there tonight is I was exposed Monday, and I was exposed Sunday, and I just found out yesterday, so I'm not going to come and expose other people if I did have it. I'm not sure if I do or not, but I feel great. But anyways, let's try to keep up the good work, and let's, this legal issue that is coming tonight. I don't see any reason why we can't, at least that people know what the legal issue is. I know you can't get into detail, but I think we got some legal issues with the township. I think people ought to know about it. I know that we'd like to know if there's a legal issue out there. I don't need the words right now, but what the litigation is, but I think we have a right to know if somebody's suing us or suing somebody else. All right, guys, well, have a good one. Good luck.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Yes.
Jeanette Lopetta, Fuller Drive, and I also represent the group Tyrone Township Watch, and really just kind of representing myself tonight. Regarding the proposed resolution, it's number 1 on new business. It says it will provide a welcoming debate of issues. I'm wondering, does this mean that you're now going to answer questions? You say it's a welcoming debate of issues. Okay, so per usual, we're not going to get questions answered. Every meeting, you always say that you're not going to answer the questions, so I assume that it doesn't really mean anything in the resolution. You also say it will provide an atmosphere of fairness, courtesy, and respect for differing points of views. I'm wondering if these same rules will apply to people that the board knows personally out in the audience, because I've many times been stopped from speaking from the audience, where others have been allowed to speak. There's no rhyme or reason to the rules. The rules are broken, then they're enforced, then people are kicked out, then people aren't kicked out. So think you should look at what you've written in this resolution because it doesn't make sense. I consider it kind of a waste of taxpayer money because if anybody's read the Open Meetings Act, that tells you Mr. Cunningham has the power. He's supposed to keep everybody in control. He can kick people out. He can ask them to be quiet. He can ask them to come up to the podium or not. So why the need for an extra resolution? I know why it is. It's to put me in the corner in the back there. That's what you're doing. I'm the only one who's ever videotaped any of these meetings that I know of. And surely since February of last year, I'm the only one who videotapes, and I live stream to Facebook. And I'll tell you why I do that in just a moment. But to put me in the back corner where you have people all the time saying, we can't hear, the microphones don't work in the back corner. My iPhone's not going to pick up. And also, I looked at the last 2 board meetings, which I don't believe I was here for either one of them. Podium completely out of view. Can't even see who's speaking. Is that right? Is that fair? The people need to know who's speaking. So when you have those conversations with people in the audience, and I turn around and videotape them, that's fair. That the public gets to see who's speaking if you're not going to make them come up to the podium. So you put me in the corner, in the back, and here's another thing. Have you ever asked me, have you ever said, Jeanette, could you move over there or maybe locate there? No, you haven't. Never.
Yes, I have.
Never have you asked me. Ever.
Not true.
Not true. Not true. But you know what? You've lied about a few things, so I'll just name what those are in here. So again, I've been recording these for approximately 14 months. I usually have my tripod set up just as I do tonight. Is that hindering anybody? Is that blocking anybody? Am I in anyone's way? No, I'm not. What harm am I doing? This room has a few people attending. I'm not in their way. Now you want me to go back to the southeast corner. Can't hear back there. I can't focus in. You've got the podium facing here. I can't focus from that corner over there to see who's speaking. That's not fair. I'm considering this an attempt to censor me personally. And I'll tell you now why I record these meetings. Just over a year ago, during the asphalt plant issue, many of us noticed a Zoom video for a board meeting that had not been published. It was days late. A resident contacted Mr. Cunningham. He responded saying there were technical difficulties. Days later, the video appeared, and guess what? Parts of it were edited out, where Mr. Cunningham was not looking very flattering, and in fact, he was attacking me. Those were edited out. I'm not sure, but I think that might be illegal. So from that point on, wait, is it funny to you, Mr. Cunningham?
Because it's not true.
Oh,
It's
really?
an absolute lie.
Oh, okay, so I'm lying about a video that got edited? You're saying that nothing got edited
I
out?
haven't edited a video yet.
Okay, so maybe you have it, somebody did it,
3 minutes is up.
so I'd like
So wrap it
that,
up.
the part that you're talking
So
to me.
wrap up your public comment.
From that point on, I decided to record as many meetings as possible so that people could have the true recordings. That's not all the editing this office has done. There are meeting minutes that have been published, knowing full well the information is wrong. I can give you examples, and I will give examples. I will write them up. I brought them to the attention here. Okay, the resolution says nothing about the decorum of the board. That's understandable because the supervisor still hasn't spoken out against the actions of the former clerk when she used her position of power to lie about me, and it's not funny, and defame my character. She was never held accountable. In fact, the supervisor hung his head while she attacked me. And they were all lies, all of them. And that's not surprising. Then Marcia Dix gets up, who's been appointed by the board.
Your time is up.
And she says disparaging remarks about me. And he says, thank you for your comment.
Thank you for your comment. Anyone else? All right, means that we have no public comment. We're going to move on to unfinished business. We have none. Now we're going to move to new business. Public township meeting conduct policy. The Open Meetings Act requires, or actually provides language that allows townships to set rules governing their township meetings. We've had some public comment about this, and we agreed with what the public said, so we decided to draft a policy. That way, everybody is clearly defined on what the rules of conduct are for the township board meetings. The purpose of these meetings is to conduct township business with public comment. So we're going to ask the board that we adopt this resolution so that we have some clear defined rules of engagement for our township board meetings.
Mike, I have one question before
Sure.
you vote on it. Is there any necessary, Jeanette said you can't hear in the back, is there a problem with her right there? I don't see a problem with her being right there, so she can do it.
Well, the tripod is up, it's been in the aisle before, there's been cords that were running across the floor. People need to get in and out for, there's a fire. So no, that would be fine. But that hasn't been the case, so,
If she was to do it like that, that would be acceptable, huh?
yeah, that would be fine.
Okay.
It's fairly consistent with what I'm used to in court, so I think it makes sense. It promotes civil discussion.
So, I'll entertain a motion.
Just a resolution.
A resolution, that's right.
I'll make the resolution.
Okay.
I'll support.
It's been resolved and supported to approve the code of conduct for public township meetings. Any further discussion? Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Certainly. Mike Cunningham,
Yes.
Kurt Schultz,
Yes.
Jennifer Eden, absent. Herman Ferguson,
Yes.
David Walker,
Yes.
Zach Tucker,
Yes.
Pam Moffett, yes.
Okay. Resolution's been approved. Moving on to item number 2, Runyon Lake Heights private road paving request. Runyon Lake Heights is a community that's south on Runyon Lake. It's an older community. None of the roads, and they're private roads, none of them are up to county road standards. And they want to pave a road leading up to their bridge. I had our engineer go out and look at it. He didn't seem to think there was a problem with it. We had the planning commission review it. If we were to make them go up to county road standards, it'd be a major undertaking. And all they're just trying to do is have a smoother road. And the only comment that I think that we should include on this is that they should provide some sort of hold harmless clause or indemnification to the township, that by doing this, that there's no liabilities incurred by the township. And I believe that there was a couple of trees that they need to remove on the, as they approach the bridge. So, they've been wanting to do this for quite some time, and this is how we finally got to a resolution to do it. We actually, they were even interested in repaving their whole community, and after we drove out there and to repave it and get it to county standards was just ridiculous. So, I mean, it's just a local community with private roads, and they want to improve their roads, so I don't see any issues with that.
Do they want to maybe do it in phases, Mike, like go to the bridge and then split off?
Well, yeah, this is all they've asked for right now, so, I mean, they may, I don't know.
Right.
And we'll have to look at it, section by section, case by case, and make sure that, they're not creating other problems, so.
I noticed potential concerns about drainage in here. Is that what the whole hold harmless is intended to address? I
Yes.
assume. Okay.
Yeah, the problem that you're looking at is once they pave it, right now it's unpaved. And how the water would run and stuff like that is a problem, because what we don't wanna have is they put the road in and it's paved, and now we have water in somebody else's yard or further down who doesn't have, water in their yard right now. So that was the issue. We asked to have some sort of hold harmless.
Yeah, and the base of that road is, got a lot of clay on it. So while we're doing it, I just don't see how much more runoff or discharge you're gonna have, because clay was,
Right.
you know, that's what you put to hold the water in ponds. So I don't think there's that much of an issue. Phil, did you have any issues with that out there while we were out there?
Detention wise or anything like that, additional runoff, no, it's a pretty small quantity. It drains right to the lake, which is a huge detention basin.
Right.
So as long as they're doing something to treat it, which the riprap will help, the grass will help, they're doing that. Our biggest concern with the drainage is if they don't get it off the road, edge of the road, it's gonna erode the road edge and it's gonna undermine the pavement pretty quickly. There's some pretty serious velocities on that pavement. So they really need to do something to manage that, at least on the southish side of that road. They had some asphalt curb's not gonna last, concrete would be better, but you know, that's gonna drive the cost up too, so. They'll have to figure something out.
Okay. You think they should bring something back to the township for review?
What did the planning commission say? Did they approve it?
Yeah, they do.
I don't know how deep into the weeds you guys want to go. If it's a private road, I don't think there's anything in the ordinance that said they had to bring it back. It said what they had to do to get approval from the town to deviate from the township standards. But I don't remember seeing anything in there that said they had to come back for more detailed drawings. I mean,
Would it be just and not to cut you off, would it be just an issue of how long the road lasts, or would it have an impact on other things?
it'll have a big issue on how long the road lasts, for sure. It could be a safety issue if somebody runs off the edge and there's a big drainage, you know, right there. Certainly, it's pretty low speed. I mean, the chance of anything happening other than dropping a wheel into something is pretty minor. So really, it's just a managing the drainage, longevity of the road, not flooding out anybody, you know, not putting a torrent of rain on their yard that didn't exist before.
I would think the whole harmless would cover the potential liability. I would make a motion to approve it with the stated conditions.
The whole harmless clause and the removal of the 2 trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll support it.
It's been motioned and supported to approve the Ring Lakes Heights private road paving request to include a hold harmless clause and removal of the 2 trees as stated. Any further discussion?
Just one quick question.
Sure.
So, Steve made a good point, though, that would it be prudent, because there's nothing in it, nothing in the request or nothing in the recommendations, to check with the utilities to see if they have any plans of doing anything, digging anything there in the next year or two. You hate to have them pave it, we pave it, and then next thing you know, we're cutting it, crossing it, so.
Yeah, I mean, normally if we were doing a project like that, yes, we would contact the utility company.
I guess my point is, we might just give them a heads up and say, let's check with the utility companies, because, you know, you want to delay it. I mean, if that's the case, or, you know, just put it off until they're done, because you don't want to pave it and then cut it up and then repave it again.
Correct.
Okay. That was my only question.
Yeah, I was gonna have to do it anyway.
Okay, that's fine.
Yep. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Moving on to item number 3 is new business. Runyon Lakes firework permit application, something they do every year. Never had any issues, everything's in order.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Support.
The motion and supported to approve the Running Lakes firework application. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? All right, Motion carries. Next is request to write off uncollectible fire service charges. We have a few items that are on here. We write them off every year. They become, whether there's a bankruptcy, they're out of statute or whatever. So we get them off of our books because we can't collect on them.
So moved.
Support.
Been motioned and supported to write off uncollected fire service charges. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carries. In our employee handbook, moving on to item number 5, elimination of per diem rates. Not in our employee handbook, we have a per diem rate sheet here. And there's one bit in there that says employees get a per diem rate. Well, state law says that they should be paid their hourly, so it's something that's been adopted in the past that needs to be cleaned up. So we're just asking to take that provision off because we need to follow the labor laws and the wage laws of the state of Michigan. So if an employee comes to a meeting, they need to pay their hourly rate, not their per diem rate.
So moved.
Support.
It's been motioned and supported to eliminate the employee per diem rates. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, that motion carries. Next is item number 6, Val Royale Site Plan Amendment. Kurt, did you want to talk to that?
Yeah, I went back and talked to Ross in regards to the issues with Battle Royale. And what they're requesting at this point in time, they have a separate rate, number of participants that can come in during the weekdays, and that is the piece that they want to increase, is the weekday issues for things like daddy-daughter dances, the use of the area for sock hops and different things that the schools might want to do, or private individuals. They're currently increasing the number of participants from 150 to 163. That's only because that's what the number of workers is for the differential there. So that really allows them to get where they're supposed to be. But the real question is, on the weekdays, is we are increasing from 60 to 163. And that sounds like a large increase, but in most situations, I don't think they're going to have that many people there. And again, this operation is pretty much seasonal.
Right. So they're not increasing any square footage out there, they're just increasing the use a little bit.
Right.
I think what I would like from them is an attendance list. So if we need to make a determination on REUs for that, we know. So we can kind of compare it to some of their prior lists to just say, look, we've got this much more. Maybe we need to do an REU evaluation in the future. I don't know if this is enough to warrant that at this time, but I'd like to just look at it so we'll make sure that we're doing our due diligence.
Because we've asked them in the past, and they have provided attendance lists for the weekend events that they hold. So we can certainly ask.
I'm not so concerned about the weekends because we're just increasing it, a half a hand here. But I'm more concerned about how their weekday business is going to increase. So I'd like to request that they provide an attendance sheet at least.
Is noise an issue out there?
We have had 0 complaints from them. They've been, pretty darn good. So
Okay.
we haven't had any, DUIs come out of there that I know of. No traffic collisions. No enforcement. It's been a
Lady who lives
great
next to
venue.
them
Yeah.
spoke on their behalf anyways.
Yeah. It's been neat, orderly. That's about it.
That's great.
I think it's good.
Mike, I make a motion, we approve it?
With the terms?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll support.
Been motioned and supported to approve the Val Royale site plan amendment to include attendance sheets. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? That motion carries. Item number 7 is we have to go into closed session to discuss pending litigation. The litigation is Tyrone 4 versus Tyrone Township. If you recall, Tyrone 4 was the subdivision that was south of the township that we denied their application, and there was a few reasons. A lot of it had to do with open space and stuff, so they filed a lawsuit against the township, and that's what the session is about. So, I will read the motion.
I think it's a resolution.
Yes, it's a resolution.
So result.
No, please don't. Withdraw that.
Oh, okay.
Regarding the case of Tyrone LLC versus Tyrone Township, now pending in Livingston County Court case number 21-031351-CZ, I move to go into closed session to consult with township attorney regarding trial or settlement strategies in connection with specific pending litigation, because of an open meeting would have a detrimental financial effect on the litigation or settlement position of the township. Madam Clerk, may I have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Mike Cunningham,
Yes.
Kurt Schultz,
Yes.
Jennifer Eden, absent. Herman Ferguson,
Yes.
David Walker,
Yes.
Zach Tucker,
Yes.
Pam Mochler, yes.
Okay. So this is the last piece of business that we have for tonight. I don't know how long we're gonna be in there. We will have, actually, if you want to stay around and make public comment when we come out, you can. I don't know how long we're gonna be in there, but there's nothing else that we'll be conducting tonight. Okay. So let's go into session.
I guess if I turn it off, I can see it.
Seems like it doesn't.
Very.
Like 19 cases.
Yeah.
They can see like everything.
Hey, Phil.
Hey, Mike.
Last in person. This is Dan.
Yeah, we're gonna go out that first door there.
Okay.
We do.
They're looking for somebody that's can do the,
Well, we can do it, but I'm recommending you go to another firm.
Okay.
That, if you give me the guy's name number, I'll get their card. They're a firm that does like this all.
Yeah, have them contact me. Okay, just have them contact me.
American Structure.
Okay, yeah, just have them contact me and then I'll put them in touch with the guy who.
Are you good on your lawn?
I have it right now.
I'll give you a half hour.
Yeah, I will have him give you a call.
Yeah, they've got a damages dispute.
They have a whole division, that this is what they do.
That's all they do, okay, great.
So, they will be better at it than we will.
Okay.
None of them could have read that Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, none of it makes sense, and it will all, you know. Okay. Yeah, that's okay, I'm staying. Yeah. Well, it's for absolutely. But actually, if you read the resolution, it makes no sense now, especially that they say I can do it, right? Well, the only thing they changed was, they didn't even update the resolution to say, they just okayed it. Right, but they didn't make any changes to it, they just all approved it. Mhm. Yep. Yeah, I looked at it, I said, don't vote for it, and he heard it. Nobody read it. They didn't read it, the resolution makes no sense. Yeah. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10, and including the sheriff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's good, I mean, yeah, just, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, that was pretty good. That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, fair's fair. Okay.
Couldn't make up the math, that's what. Then you got the power. So you're squeezing it,
Mm.
what is it, 40, 60, I don't know. What the go? Yes. My wife and I, yes, and we were all trying to figure out, well, whatever happened. Yes, that was the one that was here a couple of years ago. Yes. This is the one always. Well, they got contact.
Right, right. Hey, you heard what the commission was like, right?
No, that's not the way it goes. As far as looking at the.
Yeah. But interesting is regarding open spaces. So what did they tell them? They couldn't, you know, they were demanding that they have open spaces, but yet we brought up open spaces. And, with the Running Lake, Foley.
Yeah, without being able to read. Well, for the litigation, it's not very good. None of that is because they were well, you just hope
But you see, the planning commission last week said open spaces really had nothing to do with anything. And wasn't, yeah, they said that it wasn't applicable to development at Running Lake and Foley Road. So I'm wondering if these guys said, hey, wait a minute, why wasn't it applicable to us then? Yeah, well, Yeah, the thing that's obvious is that they don't have clear, they're not following the master plan, and they don't have clear. Yeah.
And I probably did edit. No doubt that in my opinion, off the record. He made that.
Right.
But Ed's not.
Well, he made it clear, I didn't miss it.
Okay, yeah, now. Oh, yeah, I saw that.
Right. Right.
You know, I was really surprised.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Chris just showed us. Yeah, yeah, thank you, thank you.
So
What's his last name?
after a period of time, when it starts looking like it's just
All right, okay, talk to you later.
be done.
Huh?
Just too loud.
They're in their litigation. You know, instead of, here we are. Instead of instead of having public remarks, they went to a closed session to discuss capital litigation. Because because what they did was they approved the resolution.
And he's the president of our association on the lake. He is fantastic.
When they approved it, they approved the resolution, but it still says, I'm gonna go back. Nothing read. And they said the sheriff.
Yeah.
And it's a sheriff.
That's just right. Right now, when you're turning this into your personal time,
By the way,
he's having unsolicited citizens.
Yeah.
Ability to have.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay, and they're telecasting, they were live streaming it to Facebook. I'm sorry, they were live streaming it to YouTube. And could you see how when I got up to speak, you could see me?
This mic is focused over here.
Right, it's thousands of dollars they've spent on audio here.
Right. And they can't.
They can't fix it. And then they got us all sitting back here.
They're stacked. If you go up there,
Until they caught up with him. He got away with it. He hates people. He hates it.
Yeah, yeah. I can see
I
that.
want to stick around for the couple comments and just ask, they won't answer. They'll ask her,
The other side of him.
do you realize the resolution still says I have to go to the back? When am I gonna get called up for that? It's all about me.
He lives her.
No wonder you don't care about us.
Here, I'm not even on nothing. Look it up. You look at the tax rate, see if he's paying taxes. They built a new place right northeast corner, Marshall and Hartman Road. He's the second 10-acre piece. Moved from Tyrone Town, the lake, against the sewer system over there, and he fails.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know about that sewer system, because it just keeps going up, and now all these other, places want to build, are they gonna hook up to that grinder system?
You don't have a choice anymore. That is just the way it is now.
Or bills.
I know. Well, they brought in, they weren't getting enough business. Because there wasn't enough development, so they opened it up to Oakland. And Oakland County can bring it in, and whatever else, they pay a rate, per gallon, or whatever they, to try to pay for the sewer thing, so.
So are you on that grinder system?
No, I didn't want to live in a township. We liked it. She grew up out here. I've been here. But she grew up out here. It's rural. It's just like fighting him over wanting to move the old
Oh, yeah.
township hall. That was their first hall. That's all we're asking. I mean, it's a good solid building. It's part of history. You got 10 acres here. Just put it over here so people can drive in. That building doesn't hold Mike Cunningham or anybody else a single thing other than to stand there, watch little fence around, and go, look at that. That's been here over 100 years. The old timers, they voted. Still got a couple little booths in there and stuff. And he got pissed. He got pissed because he didn't get that asphalt back.
Oh,
And
yeah, I figured
I
you
don't
must have
care.
had a finger in there. And just like that urban development.
You know how politics work. This deal right down here in White Lake. Yeah, you know how it works. Yep. Because now you can get some, there's a nice little lakes and stuff, wetlands back there, and you're pushing it in. His house is put in. He doesn't give a rat's ass about that.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Are you guys staying or?
So, we're, we gotta get up early in the morning. Old people have medicals.
This is,
Isn't that unbelievable?
this is crazy.
It's nitpicking at its worst.
It is.
Maybe you can have a wrist holder made so you can have it on your wrist.
Or,
but
I
here's,
was thinking if you could go like this.
yeah,
At least you're
in
in
front
front
of me,
Who the
yeah.
hell complained about it?
It's not, it's
Probably
not
nobody.
It's
Probably
not
nobody.
Okay, but hang on, if you read the resolution, guess what the resolution says? It still says, I'm to be in that back corner over there with my recording, and I'm not allowed to leave my camera, which means I cannot come up and speak for public comment. That's what he wanted. Oh, really?
See, I didn't finish reading.
Yeah, he wanted me in the back corner, and he didn't let me finish, right?
He can't deny you speak.
Well, exactly, that's what, and I was about to say, this is illegal. And guess what, all these guys voted for it, they never read it. They never read the resolution. Furthermore, this kind of stuff is supposed to not be done in private. Who created this if they didn't read it? Who created it? Pam Muller and Cunningham probably. How did they get this crafted?
By restricting their seating, and they are discriminating.
Exactly.
What was that?
Anybody know a lawyer? I'm sick of this.
There's a lawyer on our leg, but I don't know what kind of tree.
You know, for him allowing Marcy to do that to me, you know, last summer, unbelievable. And the bad thing is, it was all lies. She told us that we misused taxpayer money. I never spent any taxpayer money. She said that we created that Facebook group. We didn't create it. It was just lie after lie after lie.
He should never allow her to do that.
And when she spoke, he hung his head like this. After just telling Herman Ferguson maybe 4 meetings previous, you will not bring up anything that's not on this agenda. Okay, what did she do? I wasn't on the agenda.
I know what he said. Now, he can say what he, but it's, it's kind of like being interrupted by his girlfriend.
Yeah, she
But
all
not-
the time.
But not telling her to leave, but you tell Scott and I, you
Yeah.
guys need to get out.
Yep.
You keep
Get
getting
out, sis.
Yeah.
Slams the gavel down. Get out.
Well.
And you know what? You know what? Because I know he's done illegal shit, and I know he's done
Well, that's what we're
handshakes,
starting
and I
to see
know
by coming
that
here
he's
and-
doing paybacks again. Can I prove them yet? No, but one day I will.
Well, hopefully,
And Pam,
He's gonna run against him. When is that election?
when she does elections, she'll just plug her USB into the laptop if there's any problems, that's all you do, she says, out loud, during her interview. I'm like, what the hell, do you not know that that's what all the hoopla's been about? This is what she said, sitting right here for her interview. She knows all about elections, that's why she got hired.
We work the elections. I've never seen it.
Yeah, I've never seen her at any of them.
Marcy, no, she was there.
And Marcy would go around to all the different.
Lincoln works
So, I saw that qualification that.
But guess what? It was,
Your meeting in your, an election official.
so they said they hired her because of that? But that wasn't in the thing that we said we need to, and it's still not the most important thing. It's gonna tell me about it.
All right.
Hello? Can you hear me? Because it catches me on the road.
You are. Right, buddy. On time.
Oh, so you could, they could hear all the stuff, say, oh,
He's my husband.
yeah, I don't know why, he looks familiar to me.
Oh.
And maybe one of the TV shows I've been watching.
I haven't been on TV since 1983.
You were on TV then?
I did county and company down in Detroit.
Oh, I never knew that.
Oh, maybe that's where.
That's hilarious.
And I gave him a nice warning.
You're warning back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Who's his girlfriend and the mother? She's got long dark hair.
Usually,
Which Scott printed and handed out to them. And they all scanned it. She was told that she got to be careful. She says, they printed it all.
Interesting.
Yeah, and, everyone was told that they couldn't go on the Facebook group back when I wrote about the asphalt. No, you know what I mean? She goes, stop, it's
What's that?
Yeah. Yes. And that's the funny thing is, that's what we tell a lot of people, is like, they'll call from like Casco Township or Heartland Township or Deerfield Township, and like, yeah, this person's violating, this noise ordinance at night, we're like, we don't have the authority to do anything, because we're not contracted by you guys, you gotta contact the township so that they can send out the ordinance officer, because we're not contracted, we can't enforce ordinances unless we're contracted by the township.
And the guy here, he's nice. He's kind of overwhelmed, all this stuff he does.
Yeah.
Yes, so, over the edge. I think everybody look at you over here.
Hey. Little extra point about it, can't hurt.
Talking to my neighbor, a little
Yeah.
more officially.
Yeah. More of an official capacity.
Yeah,
Where do you guys live at?
I'm really like, we're off of Walnut Shores.
Okay.
It's actually Sleepy Shores. You go towards the boat ramp,
Yeah.
there's a little private road that goes off heading towards the lake before that big turn to go to the boat ramp.
Okay.
I think there's 6, 7 houses down in there.
Mm-hmm.
We're right in there.
It's real small, right?
Yeah.
Okay, are they building right there? Is that one?
Did you see it cleared out?
With some stakes by the road? That building?
Maybe.
Somebody did.
Past the
clear out.
mailboxes, just past the mailboxes?
If you're going in off Running Lake on the right, maybe I'm wrong.
Oh, that,
Am I thinking somewhere else?
you're talking about the one that just sold? The one before that, where they're building, there's a house up on the road, and they're building in front of it?
Yeah, there's a house on the road, and then you go down, and it's kind of behind it, and they took out one house, and they're taking out another.
Oh, that's, I mean,
Oh,
that's,
that's Running Lake Court.
Running Lake Court, sorry.
Yes, yes.
All the courts.
we're the next.
Yeah, there's
That's
another
the
one.
shores, you gotta go out to Walnut,
Yep.
and the big hill, and then the smaller hill, and Sleepy Shores path goes off, and you go not even a quarter mile, and it turns to the left.
Okay.
Circle around the boat ramp,
Okay.
and we're right before that first part of the hill.
Nice.
Yeah, it's been
This
good.
was a rowdy neighbor down there in town.
Yeah,
That golf.
no, she's 70-something years old, she's just old and cranky. If her son will out, stay in Florida, and I come here, wow.
So you come here in the summer?
Yeah, that's what he did last year.
With his RV, with his generator running.
That's what you were saying, nonstop every day?
He used to be on the lake, and he was nice. She was nice to us when we first, we don't know what happened.
Or husband. And then she just got real cuckoo.
Yeah.
So,
But we don't know why, all of a sudden.
Maybe she needs a friend.
You know, she gave me dishes, bakeware, we swapped flowers. We'd stand outside and talk for an hour about plants.
And now none of it.
Now, you just get the look. When we get our boat pulled out, she's out there to make sure his tire doesn't go across that lot line.
oh, when she cuts her yard.
She comes over our house.
Over by our house. It's like, and now I just.
Thanks for cutting a little bit of my
Yeah.
yard, I appreciate that. A little bit less than I have.
And price of gas, you can do some more.
Yeah, come on over, do a little bit more. You wanna cut the whole thing, feel free.
Right?
Yeah.
Just, I mean, over, what, a little bit of,
It's,
like, we're trying to take it, that's what she
Yeah.
keeps saying. We're trying to take it.
it's,
No, we're not.
those kind of people always, they make me laugh, because I'm like, one of my neighbors is like that too. He's a cranky old man and everything. He got upset, so my wife and I moved into our house a couple years ago, and she was talking, it's us, him, and then there's another neighbor on the other side. And she back.
Keep
in
your
our
piece
yard.
back there.
And I'm like, thank you. Are you that worried about my leaves being in here? And he'll rake a bunch of them over and then he'll go over in the middle of his front yard and clean up all his leaves. I'm like, hey, whatever.
Listen, she leaves before all her leaves fall off her trees. And then when we put up a couple trees, she had a problem with that, some of those leaves may get in her gutters.
Oh.
And I don't think so. They're far enough away.
Nature. If you don't want to worry about leaves getting in your gutters, go live in an apartment in the city.
Or if she would be nice and just ask me, I would probably use my letter.
Clean your
hers
gutters.
when I do mine.
Yes.
Not that big of a deal.
Would you like me to clean your gutters?
We lived next door to two widows in the past, and our next two homes. And he would do that. He'd snow blow their, sidewalks and.
That's how I was growing up. My next, she just turned 100. She's still living next door to my parents. But that's how it was when I grew up. We mowed her lawn, we snow blow her driveway,
Checked
shovel
on
the
her,
walkway up
yeah,
to the door, checked on her, take her dinner every once in a while,
Yeah, yeah.
clean up her leaves. We did all that for her. She's a widow living at home, and all of her family, I think pretty much all of her families. She has one son that's close by, but like her daughter's out of state and another son's out of state, so like.
Well, it just so happened, neither one of them had children at the ones we lived next to. They had nieces that would come over occasionally.
Yeah.
So he was like a godsend to them.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you think she would be nice now?
Do you think she'd be nice and, want to let someone else to be around and spend time with and, come on over and hang out by the lake and relax, but no, went the opposite way. Shut me in my house and don't touch my property and
So,
let me be
two
alone.
of her daughters are out of state, only one is still here, and she lives over by the Mueller farm.
What about you, Lois Orchard?
Or,
Yeah.
one's
That's crazy.
So it's like, if something happens to her,
Yeah. Yeah, there's, we've been dealing with a guy for the last 2 years. He lives down on Tyrone Lake in Tyrone Township, but he's dealing with some dementia and Alzheimer's, and he calls like every day that someone's stealing his tractor or stealing his greenhouse, or he used to call a bunch at night saying that people, are trying to break into his barn and the murder boxes on their head, like every night, every other night. And it's sad, because literally I was over there yesterday, I dealt with him like a year and a half ago. And everybody's been over there, and I got his brother's phone number and his sister's phone number, so I could get a hold of them. His parents are gone, he's never been married, doesn't have kids, anything like that. So I talked to his brother like a year ago, and his brother's no help at all. I talked to his sister, she's a little bit of help. And I had community mental health go check on him like a year and a half ago, and then just the other day, in the last few shifts that I've had, I've seen his address pop up. It was one of those addresses that you just remember, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it wasn't for anything major crimes or anything, it's just, it kept popping up at night, that people were breaking into the barn and this and that. And I was like, and I went over there the other day, and I got his sister's phone number again, and I called her, and she's like, yeah, he says that my son's trying to steal his tractor. My son hasn't been over there in 5 years, he stays away because he's causing issues, and she's like, I've been over there in 3 months, I haven't had time. And I'm like, in 3 months, we haven't had time to go over and see your brother, like, what? Like, there has to be some day, a weekend or some day that you could have swung by her. But she said, because his mental state, he gets angry and yells at her, and she won't deal with it anymore, so that's what I have community mental health when we get a hold of him again, and I'm like, it's just, I talked to a trooper today, because I was there yesterday, and a trooper went there today for the exact same thing when I was there yesterday. And we were talking about it, and it's just sad, it's like, brother's useless to get any help, his sister's useless to get any help, he doesn't have anyone else in his life. I'm like, it's just sad, like, I wish someone, he had someone that was like, his sister was willing to help him out. So,
Yeah, write a petition.
yeah,
Look at that, there's no place to put it.
yeah,
Hey, he's got a home,
yeah. He's at home, he's like, it's not like where he's like a danger to himself, he's not homicidal, he's not suicidal. Makes himself
food, he does everything. He's fixated on.
Very annoying.
Yeah, it hasn't been, lately it hasn't been people breaking into his barn. Now it's been people trying to steal his tractor, people trying to steal his greenhouse, while his greenhouse is framed.
That's
They're always
kind
running
of
boxes.
how she is, she's, you know, makes up that people are doing stuff, the wind did it,
Yeah,
but no, the neighbor's kid did it.
yeah. Leaves are, they're raising leaves in money, or not raising leaves in your, it's windy.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's unfortunate, that's sad. I hate hearing that stuff. Like you get to an older age and your family doesn't take care of you or have any, neither one to take care of this year's kind of stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am moving.
Is there an animal? Nationwide organization of
Fan club left us there. Our fan club left us.
So, watching the board come back in.
Somebody still is. Who's still here?
Pretty good sense.
Yes.
You guys, I'm talking to you.
You too.
I'll entertain a motion to come out of closed session.
So moved.
Support. Been motion and supported to come out of closed session and reconvene our board meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? We're done with new business. We have no miscellaneous business. Public remarks. Zoom, does anybody have public remarks? Do I see any hands raised or?
Okay.
Yeah. Karen. How about doing this, Jeanette? Are we muted? Your microphone's
You're muted.
there.
There, muted.
Go ahead, Scott.
Okay. Who are you calling on?
Go ahead, Jeanette.
Okay. Sorry, I'm a little discombobulated. I just got home. What I'd really like to know is, did everybody read that resolution before you voted on it?
Yes.
Well, we know that you did, Mike. Did everyone else read it?
Yes.
Okay, well, I challenge you to read it again because it doesn't make sense. You didn't make any changes to it that I'm now allowed to videotape from sitting in the front chair without using a tripod. Instead, what it says is I'm delegated to the back of the room. It also says that I have to stay with the camera. Right? Did you all read that it says you gotta stay with the camera? What does that mean? That means if the resolution as written is in effect, it means I'm delegated to the corner with the camera and I'm not allowed to come up for public comment time. That's what the resolution means. You guys need to read it. It doesn't make sense. It's an attempt to censor me and other people after me or at any time. I don't understand. When you look at the Open Meetings Act, everything that's needed is in the Open Meetings Act. This resolution, the only reason for it is to censor me personally. I'd also like to know when this resolution was written and who wrote it. Was it a meeting that you all had? Was it written by just two people? Can I find that information out? Because I thought when you made resolutions that the board was supposed to meet together
and craft these resolutions? And if that's so, when did that meeting happen? So these are all questions that are unanswered, and I understand that even though the resolutions, this new code of conduct is to facilitate better debate or whatever it said, I don't see where that's going to happen either. What does that mean, that it says it's going to facilitate a better discussion? Nobody will answer my questions. How many emails have I sent to the township that have not been answered? Just asking simple questions, and no one will answer them. I'm being censored, and I'm being told to shut up. So please, I ask you all to read that resolution again, and somebody put it on the agenda for the next meeting and rewrite it, because it's censorship, plain and simple. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Scott, did you have something?
Yeah, I can barely hear you as I put my head up to the phone. I'll just go on. Thanks for letting us know what the litigation is. In the future, if you can, I don't know if you can, put it on the agenda so we know, people know ahead of time. Val Royal Barn, I did make a comment at the planning commission meeting about the sewage like you did tonight. That's one of my concerns. Everything else there is great. The sewage is a problem with these, a lot of sewage going to the place where we process it. And I don't know exactly how that's regulated, who pays for the bulk, and if it's spread out through the whole community, that isn't fair. Not for just them, it's for any business. And maybe it should be metered. Any type of business that's dumping that much sewage should be metered. That's my question. So it isn't unfairly burdened on anybody in the township other than the person using the facility like Battle Royale. So I appreciate you letting us know what the litigation was, and have a good night, guys.
You too, Scott. Thanks for your comments. And I don't see, there's one hand raised there. Do you see it?
No, it's
That's
Okay, that was Scott.
yeah.
I just didn't unraise it.
Okay. Doesn't look like there's any other comment, so I'll entertain the motion to adjourn.
So moved.
It's been motioned and supported to adjourn. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night. I just don't recall, because I'm sure this is in the D&O, right? Was it in the consent? How did it work? A hammer, yeah.